Hello everyone. Been quite some time since I've done a review on episode of the Doctor Who episode. This second series, the Doctor Who, with this new guy, he's black, which, you know, got nothing against blacks, right? They're lovely people, you know, nothing against them, right? Now, there was something that in this episode towards the end, right? But before I get to that part, the episode was called Intergalactic Song, you know, Eurovision, you know, competition and all this, right? Now, of course, things happen and the Doctor eventually ends up trying to bring everyone back because they're floating in space and all that. Brings them all back, right? And through all series one, there's a woman named Mrs. Flood, right? And she's been popping up in all the different times, right? Which seems a bit strange how she's managed to. Always knows when the Doctor's going to show up, right? Then, after the Doctor saved everyone and leaves, oh, there's a part with Graham Norton. It says about some planet and that. They go into the TARDIS. The Doctor pulls the lever down. And something happens the next minute. Oh. The doors, boom, explode. Right? Credits, music, right? Then we've got a part where Mrs. Flood comes back. Says, is the Doctor gone? Yes. Starts to glow, and I thought, oh, she's a Time Lord, so she's going to regenerate. Now, the next thing that happens, which I'm absolutely, there's just something that I'm really a bit pissed off with, is instead of her regenerating into another person, she decides to split in two. And I'm actually, it's the most ridiculous bloody thing out. The bi-regeneration bullshit. Russell T Davies, who doesn't think, should remember on a particular episode called the 50th anniversary. Now, I'll mention that after, but this. When Mrs. Flood splits into two, we find out that it's been the Rani the whole time, right? How on earth she'd managed to know where the Doctor's going to be, because in the episode where Mrs. Flood, this is before we end up splitting into bloody two, is Mrs. Flood is sitting in the audience. She's got those glass things and looking down and knew exactly where the Doctor was going to be. How she knew, I don't know. But as I said, getting back to with the bi-regeneration, which when I first saw that with the Doctor in one of the specials, I found that absolutely bloody stupid. But now, oh, they decide to do it with, oh, Mrs. Flood and find out, oh, it's the Rani. Now this is where Russell T Davies has made the biggest bloody mistake out. He would have to be the most biggest bloody idiot out. Now remember in the 50th anniversary, right, where you had the 10th Doctor, you had the 11th Doctor, and you had the other Doctor, played by William Hurt, right? William Hurt playing the other Doctor. Brilliant actor, right? Right? Who did a really good job there. Remember when they'd saved Gallifrey and that, and they've had the two, and then they go all about the toes. And the other Doctor says, I won't remember saved Gallifrey. No. Because of the timelines. The other Doctor and the 10th Doctor are from different timelines. So it was a bit out of sync. Right? Once they go into their own TARDIS, dematerialise, they go into their own timelines. Right? But what Russell T Davies, it would have to be an absolute tweak, forgetting that the Doctor is not supposed to be two Doctors in the same timeline. Supposed to be in his own timeline. Okay? Because remember years ago when the Doctor regenerated, he'd get put in his own timeline. Right? And when the three Doctors, when the third Doctor needed help, was up against Omega, and the Time Lords took the second Doctor out of his own time stream and brought it into the third Doctor's time stream. The same as the first Doctor. Brought the first Doctor into the third Doctor's time stream. And this is the same similar thing with the 50th anniversary. That's where Russell T Davies doesn't think. He needs to use his brains instead of thinking through his other behind. Those Doctors went back to their own time streams. And they would have forgotten that they saved Gallifrey. But of course, Russell thinks that, oh, it's a good idea to have the time to have the 14th Doctor split into two. Oh, we've got a bi-regeneration. We've got one straight Doctor, one fruity-tooty Doctor. The two Doctors are not supposed to be in the same time stream. The only way that two Doctors, or three Doctors also, are in the same time stream is when one gets taken out of their own time stream and brought into the future one. And now they decide to do it with the Rani. There was no need to do that with the Rani. So now you've got 2 Ranis. There's only meant to be 1 Rani. Seriously. And they end up, Russell T Davies ends up having, we'll have the Rani split into 2. Really? So the actual the Rani and the one that was called Mrs. What is she? An assistant to the Rani? Because the thing is, she's split into 2. There's 2 Ranis, not the 1 Rani. He doesn't think. Seriously, doesn't think. This bioregeneration does not exist. There's no such thing as a bioregeneration. Seriously. You know, if they're going to have, with the toy maker, they could have had one of the other doctors taken out from their own time stream and brought into the future doctor's time stream, and they'd be up against the toy maker and they were to stop. But oh no, the 14th Doctor gets shot by some laser beam thing and splits into 2. And then you've got the straight Doctor and you've got the fruity tooty one saying, oh, it's a myth. It's not a myth because there's no such thing as bioregeneration. Seriously. Now, the episode's been alright, been okay. But I have had a gutful of this business of the split of the bioregeneration. Seriously. It's pathetic. You can't have bioregeneration. It is stupid. And now now you've got 2 Ranis. Seriously. And the other thing that Russell T Davies is forgetting, not using his brains, is that when the Doctor regenerates and his own self gets put into it, ends up going into his own, put into his own time stream. When the Doctor's help, remember the 5 Doctors, right? And how the 5th Doctor was being controlled by Barusa. And the only way they could get the 5th Doctor back was link minds. Go like this, right? Saying contact. And there's a lot of flashes, the different faces. And they managed to bring back the 5th Doctor. You see, this is the thing with Russell T Davies. He doesn't think. You see, when I heard that, Chris Chibnall was leaving, I thought, oh, good. I'm going to have, Russell T Davies. That's good. But of course, he's just as bad as was Chibnall, who decided to have the timeless child. Rubbish. That is an absolute crap. It's rubbish. Seriously. There's no such thing as timeless child. Seriously. You see, I have a second channel, Doctor Who fan film, which in the third episode is going to be a bit more with the with the green screens and the CGI and all that. There will be no woke, and I know a lot of the Doctor Who. I know a lot of other people that do Doctor Who fan films. They do them to entertain, and that's what I'm doing Doctor Who fan film episodes to entertain. So no woke, no flirty, because you see the Doctor doesn't have time to flirt with females, let alone males. Seriously. That's another thing, which in this particular episode, flirting with the two males. Seriously. That's no. The Doctor is a Time Lord. He doesn't have time for sex or flirty. No. He has no time for that. He is a Time Lord. He's called the Doctor, who travels through time and space and saves people. He's not there to stop off and go, oh, let's have a kissy, or let's flirt a bit. Or, I'll save those people after we had a bit of a flirt. No. And all these ones, this is another thing. There's these ones that make up all this crap. They make up all these lies. Right? Now, the latest one, which is the most pathetic one now, is, Billy Piper is the next Doctor. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. That's a load of crap, really. Because when the 15th Doctor regenerates, it will be a male. It will not be a female. Okay? Because remember, the 13th Doctor, which was played by a female, it flopped. It didn't work, did it? No, it didn't work at all. And the thing is, there's been a lot of woke in the series, in the series 1, which is supposed to be series 14, and then this one's supposed to be series 15. But they made the turn around series 1 and series 2 and all this. Right? But that, not worry about that. But there's been a lot of woke. Okay? And that's none of that. So when the Doctor regenerates, one won't be a female. 2, white male. Now, as I said, I've got nothing against black people. They're lovely people. But the Doctor is supposed to be white, a white male, okay? who is straight, not flirting with other characters, and crying every time. Depending on the scene. If it's, now and then. Okay. That's my bit of review. But before I go, as I have said, when the Doctor regenerates, is not to be played by a female, is to be played by a male, a white male. None of this business of, we can't have white males, we've got to have a different colour, or we have to have females play the character. No, it's played by a male, a white male. No woke anymore. And it's to get back to normal, how it's always been. So when the next Doctor regenerates, when this Doctor regenerates properly, not this bloody business of splitting into two. No more of this bi-regeneration rubbish. When the 15th Doctor regenerates, he regenerates and it's a white male. Not a white female, a white male. No woke, no political rubbish. And it is to entertain people. Not have woke shoved in our faces. Anyway, that's my bit of a talk about that. Take care. Bye now.